How to budget after a job loss. First and foremost, I know it's a very stressful time. And I know there's a lot of anxiety and there's a lot of fear. But if you have a plan and if you were to follow the plan, this will help you reduce your anxiety, at the same time control your expenses in this very stressful period. So first and foremost, a little introduction about myself. I have been in the financial industry for close to 20 years. And in that time, I helped many groups of people, some of them young working professionals, some of them students. And recently, I've been helping a lot of retirees with their financial plans. Also, I've been retired during my late 30s for a couple of years. So with that, I'm sharing with you some of the experiences I've learned over the years. The first thing is to control your expenses. Over here, try to cut down any expenses which are considered wants. Example of these expenses could be vacations, a new car, or a new hobby. Over here, you want to allocate towards necessary expenses, which includes things like rental, water, electricity, food, fuel, and maybe the internet. These expenses basically is needed for us to be a functioning human being in the modern society. So a quick tip over here is that look for your subscriptions. It could be your television subscription, your phone subscriptions, your magazine subscriptions, or your gym subscriptions. Ask yourself if you need these services. If not, try to cancel these subscriptions. The second tip is try to go for a side hustle. Right now with smartphones, computers, and the internet, it is so easy to find a side hustle. If you have no idea at all, maybe try to go on Grab or Uber as a driver. Having said that, I will highly recommend that you look at your passions and also what you're good at and try to Google on ways to monetize on these skills. For instance, myself, since I like to talk and I like to share, one of my side hustle is to start teaching online. And every time when I get a student, this is how I get a small residual income. The third tip is to have an emergency fund. Over here, what I like to say is that being jobless is already so stressful and it brings a lot of anxiety. The last thing in the world that you want is an emergency that will cost a lot of money and you don't have that much of allocation for that particular emergency. That will add even more anxiety and even more stress during this difficult period. And the amount which is highly suggested is 6 months of your living expenses. The example over here is that if you spend about 10,000 per month, make sure you keep aside 60,000 as an emergency fund. And the final tip is to always invest in yourself. For me, this was very important, where I invested some money on networking events with the hopes of getting another job. Aside from that, I would highly suggest in investing in books. That way, you can level up. And once you are more valuable in the marketplace, who knows, you could get a much better job than your previous job. So good luck. And if you want to have any retirement tips or any tips to start a side hustle, please subscribe to this channel and I'll see you in the next episode.